Does the chaos of life make you feel down? Are you stressed out, having trouble with relationships, or stuck in a cycle of overthinking? Do you want to know the secret to inner peace, strength, and real spiritual growth? It's called Learning the Art of Detachment. This video is based on the timeless lessons of Miyamoto Musashi and shows how letting go can help you reach your full potential and change your life. Lesson 1. Increase creativity. Being detached has the power to bring out your imagination in you in huge ways. When you let go of attachments that aren't necessary, like those to people, things, or strict expectations, you make room in your thoughts to consider new options. The famous fighter and philosopher Miyamoto Musashi thought that the best way to reach your full potential was to break free from restrictions. In his lessons, he stresses how important detachment is for getting clear and creative. When your mind is free, you can be creative. Some of the things that weigh on our minds are fears about the past or worries about the future. We get so tied to certain results or ideas of success that we don't allow new ideas to enter our minds. You can break these chains by detaching from them. You can try new things, take chances, and be open to the unexpected when you let go of the need to be perfect or the fear of failing. Being open like this is where real creation starts. Think about how Musashi lived and fought. He didn't stick to just one way of using a sword. Instead, he studied many different schools of thought and came up with his own, which he called Two Heavens, One School. He was creative in the art of war, not only because he was skilled, but also because he could let go of beliefs and preconceived ideas. He could change, improve, and eventually become the best at what he did by letting go of set ways of doing things. You can use this same rule for any artistic project. When you practice detachment, you also make outward validation less important. A lot of talented people can't do anything because they're afraid of being judged or need to be liked. Being too focused on how other people see your work can stop you from being creative. When you let go of these outside worries, you let your creativity be led by your own inner drive, which is a purer and more genuine source of inspiration. Being detached also makes you more curious and playful, which are important for creation. You can look at problems with a new viewpoint when you're not tied to a certain outcome. You're more open to trying out new ideas, making connections between things that don't seem to go together, and taking big steps into unknown territory. So, detachment clears your thoughts of the junk, making room for new ideas and inspiration. See that which you can't see with the eye, Musashi taught. This wisdom tells us that letting go opens up our incredibly powerful potential and lets us make something amazing. Lesson 2. Improve relationships. People often get the art of detachment wrong when it comes to partnerships. Many people think it means cutting emotional ties or pulling away from other people. But Miyamoto Musashi taught that true detachment is about freeing oneself from unhealthy bonds and expectations that can get in the way of real connections. When done right, detachment leads to interactions that are healthier, deeper, and more real. Musashi's philosophy is based on the idea of letting go of clinging desires. When it comes to relationships, clinging usually shows up as an intense need for approval, power, or constant reassurance. These ties can make things unbalanced, which can cause fights, dependence, or even anger. When we accept our differences, we can approach partnerships with openness and mutual respect without being weighed down by too many expectations. When we are detached, we can see people for who they really are, not as reflections of our fears or wants. If we hold on too strongly, we might not see the other person for who they are, and we might force our ideas on them. This can make us sad when they don't live up to our expectations. But if we look away, we can appreciate how special they are and accept them without judging them. Being able to accept each other builds trust and honesty, which are two important parts of any good relationship. Musashi stressed how important it was to stay calm and balanced in all parts of life, including interactions with other people. Detachment helps us deal with disagreements in a clear and calm way. We can answer thoughtfully instead of impulsively when we separate ourselves from the storms of anger, jealousy, or insecurity. This calm attitude can help people understand each other better and prevent misunderstandings. Detachment does not mean indifference either. It makes us love others more without expecting anything in return. When we let go of the need to own or control others, our love is based on real care instead of personal gain and is unconditional. Both people feel free in this kind of love, which makes a space where everyone can grow and thrive. The lessons that Musashi taught us tell us that life is temporary and always changing. Holding on to relationships as if they are fixed causes pain. When we let go of attachments, we can enjoy the ups and downs of relationships without worrying about losing them. This way of thinking not only makes our relationships better, but it also gets us ready to accept and deal with change. Developing distance can change how we interact with other people. We go from being dependent on each other and in charge to having respect for each other, understanding, and love that doesn't depend on anything. We become closer to each other and more spiritually aligned at the same time. This leads to inner peace and unity. Lesson 3. Enhanced resilience. Detachment is a key part of building resilience, which is the power to deal with problems and keep your inner strength when things get tough. Miyamoto Musashi, one of the greatest fighters in history, knew that the best way to deal with life's problems was to look at them without getting caught up in them. This lesson teaches us to keep our cool during life's ups and downs, no matter what is going on around us. When we stop caring about how things will turn out, we stop the mental turmoil that comes with expectations. Life is uncertain, and problems will always come up. We don't have to stop caring about our goals or wishes to be detached. Instead, we just have to learn to let go of the need to control everything that happens. This was something that Musashi wrote a lot about, especially when he talked about how to approach life and fight with balance and calm. The ability to balance comes from knowing that we can't change the outside world, but we can change how we react inside. Think about a time when you were about to fail at your job, in your relationships, or in your personal goals. If you are too attached to the idea of success or being perfect, failing can be very painful. Detachment, on the other hand, helps you see that loss is not the end, but a way to grow. With this attitude, you can figure out what went wrong, learn from it, and be more determined going forward. When we can fail at something without letting it change who we are or cloud our judgment, we become more resilient. Musashi's lessons also tell us to pay attention to the present, which is a key part of being strong. Getting rid of sorrow and fear by letting go of the past and the future frees us to make choices in the present. People who are resilient don't dwell on what they've lost or worry about what could go wrong. Instead, they use their energy to do good things. Musashi lived by this concept in battle, where keeping his mind clear and not being afraid were key to his success. Detachment also makes us stronger by helping us keep our emotions in check. By letting go of fleeting feelings, whether they are good or bad, we build the power to stay steady when things get rough. Everyday problems seem less scary when we know that they will also go away. So, detachment gives us the strength and grace to handle life's difficulties. Musashi's wise words encourage us to get through hard times and see them not as problems that can't be solved, but as chances to learn, grow, and strengthen our spiritual link to the world. Lesson 4. Greater appreciation for the present moment. We can fully experience the present moment when we are detached and aware at the same time. We often miss the beauty in the present because we are stuck in the past or worried about the future. We can live with focus and gratitude when we let go of these things that are distracting us. Miyamoto Musashi said that the key to success was to live in the present. Do nothing that is useless, he wrote. It's important to remember what's important with this short lesson. We can fully experience the present when we let go of worries that aren't important. Letting go of regret and fear is the first step to appreciating the present moment. Worry ties us to an unsure future, while regret ties us to the past. We learn from detachment that neither helps our growth. We can enjoy the joy of just being when we let go of these mental worries. Take a meal with family or friends as an example. A mind that is attached might be thinking about work tasks or a fight from the past, missing the warmth and connection of the present. A mind that is not attached, on the other hand, enjoys the tastes, laughs, and company, making memories that are good for the soul. Detachment was something that Musashi did all the time. He gave every job his full attention, whether it was working out, writing, or meditating. This state of mind not only made him better at what he did, but it also made him more spiritually aware. Grounding exercises like deep breathing or sensory awareness can help you become more detached and more thoughtful. These activities help you stay in the moment and let go of things that are bothering you. Focus on what really counts and get rid of what doesn't. This is what Musashi taught. By doing this, you will find out how deeply rich the present moment is. Lesson 5. Reduce stress and anxiety. Attachment, whether to results, things, or identities, is a common cause of stress and worry. By turning our attention from outside stresses to inner peace, detachment is a strong antidote. Musashi's ideas teach us that real freedom comes from controlling ourselves, not the outside world. Even though Musashi's life was full of risk and uncertainty, he stayed calm and focused. Having no attachments to things or to what other people thought of him helped him float through life with amazing calm. He was known for being a wanderer who only carried his weapons and his knowledge with him. This minimalist way of life stretched to his mind, which he kept clear of worries that weren't necessary. We bring stress into our lives when we try to control things or fight change. Being detached helps us handle the unexpected parts of life with ease. For example, a student who is too focused on getting perfect grades might feel unbearable stress during tests. A detached attitude, on the other hand, puts effort in learning ahead of fear of failing, which lowers stress and improves performance. This way of thinking is summed up by Musashi's advice. Think lightly of yourself and deeply of the world. When we let go of our fears that are based on our ego, we can face difficulties with a clear head. This lack of attachment does not mean apathy, but rather a measured view that keeps stress from taking over. Detachment can help you deal with worry and anxiety. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion. Accept how you feel without judging them, and think about what you can control instead of what you can't. Being like Musashi shows us that being simple in thought and deed is a strong way to find inner peace. Lesson 6. A deeper connection to nature. By getting rid of the things that distract us, detachment helps us feel deeply connected to the natural world. Musashi got a lot of ideas from nature. He used the rhythms and patterns of nature to explain life and strategy. His distance from things let him see and learn from nature more clearly than anyone else. Being in nature teaches you about balance and how things change. A tree loses its leaves without trying to stop itself, and a river runs around rocks without getting off track. You can only see these lessons if your thought is not attached to anything. We can connect with nature's knowledge when we step away from the noise of everyday life. For example, being in a park or by the water can really help you feel better. If your thought is stuck on plans or material things, you might miss the soft beauty of a bird's song or the way waves rise and fall. A mind that is not attached, on the other hand, fully immerses itself and finds comfort and inspiration in these simple times. Musashi often went out into nature to work on his ideas and skills. Understanding the natural world helped him make plans and create art, and it also helped him align his activities with the flow of life. This alignment is a key part of spiritual growth because it makes you feel like you are one with everything in the world. Set aside time to be alone in nature to deepen your relationship to it through detachment. Allow yourself to just be in harmony with your surroundings as you practice watching without judging. It was Musashi who showed that separation is not about being alone, but about being a part of something much bigger than ourselves. When we accept our differences, we open the door to spiritual growth and personal control. It is Miyamoto Musashi's timeless knowledge that shows us how to live with clarity, strength, and purpose. Detachment can change us for the better by making us more creative, stronger, more resilient, more thoughtful, less stressed, and more connected to nature. It can also help us get closer to nature and connect with it more deeply.